On the morning of January 23, 2026, the tranquil waters of Manila Bay were broken by the imposing silhouette of the French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. As the first rays of sunlight glinted off its steel hull, the city awoke to a sight not seen in generations. A foreign flagship entering its harbor, heralding a new chapter in regional history. The massive warship, flanked by a formidable escort of frigates and a nuclear submarine, was more than a mere show of military might. It was a powerful declaration, a signal to the world that a new era of cooperation and strategic partnership was dawning in the Indo-Pacific. The fleet's disciplined formation spoke of unity, strength, and a shared purpose. On the carrier's deck, Rafale jets gleamed in the morning light, their sleek forms a testament to French engineering and resolve. The French tricolor fluttered proudly above, a vivid symbol of France's renewed commitment to the Indo-Pacific region and its willingness to stand alongside its allies in times of uncertainty. For the people of the Philippines, the arrival of the French fleet was more than a spectacle, it was reassurance. In the face of ongoing maritime disputes and regional tensions, the sight of Allied warships in their waters was a visible promise of support and solidarity, offering hope for a more secure future. Behind the scenes, months of quiet but determined diplomacy had paved the way for this historic moment. High-level meetings, confidential negotiations, and careful planning culminated in the signing of agreements that would mark the beginning of a strategic alliance between France and the Philippines. The carrier's arrival was more than a ceremonial visit. It was a clear message to the region and the world. France stands firmly with the Philippines, ready to defend shared interests and uphold international law. This was not just a fleeting visit, but the inauguration of a comprehensive defense pact. Joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and coordinated operations were now on the horizon, forging a united front dedicated to maintaining peace and stability in Southeast Asia. News cameras flashed and reporters chronicled the spectacle, capturing the moment as Filipino and French officers stood shoulder to shoulder. Their unity on deck was more than symbolic. It was the public face of a new partnership, one built on trust, mutual respect, and a shared vision for the future. France's presence in Manila Bay reinforced its identity as a true Indo-Pacific power, while the Philippines took a bold step in diversifying its security alliances. Together, they sent a message of resilience and cooperation to the entire region. The arrival of the Charles de Gaulle was not the end, but the beginning, a bold step forward into a future defined by shared interests, mutual defense, and the promise of enduring friendship. This alliance promised to reshape the security landscape of Southeast Asia, offering new hope for stability and balance in a region often marked by uncertainty and rivalry. As the sun set over Manila Bay, the echoes of this historic day promised to resonate far beyond the city's shores, heralding a new era of partnership, security, and hope for generations to come. Along Roxas Boulevard, as the first light of dawn crept over the city, thousands of Filipinos gathered in anticipation. Their eyes, filled with a mix of hope and uncertainty, were fixed on the distant horizon, searching for a sign that change was coming. The sight that greeted them was unforgettable, the imposing silhouette of the French aircraft carrier, anchored majestically in Manila Bay. Its arrival marked a turning point, a moment that would be etched in the city's memory for years to come. For many Filipinos, the presence of the warship brought a collective sigh of relief. After months of tension and uncertainty, a powerful ally had arrived, signaling that the Philippines was not alone in facing the challenges ahead. Almost instantly, social media platforms lit up with excitement. Posts, photos, and videos of the carrier flooded timelines as Filipinos expressed pride and hope. The alliance with France was embraced not just as a strategic move, but as a source of national inspiration. "Someone to stand with us," an elderly fisherman remarked, his weathered face reflecting both relief and gratitude. His words echoed the national mood, capturing the sense of unity and reassurance that swept through the crowd. For the younger generation, the partnership represented more than just military strength. It was a symbol of progress, a step toward building a modern, capable defense force, and a future where the Philippines could stand tall on the world stage. French sailors, stepping ashore in crisp uniforms, mingled with locals along the bay. Their warm smiles and friendly exchanges stood in stark contrast to the tense encounters Manila had experienced with other foreign navies in the past. Throughout the city, cultural events and public diplomacy initiatives blossomed. These gatherings fostered genuine goodwill, reminding everyone that this alliance was about more than governments or military might. It was about people coming together, sharing stories, and building trust. The visit was framed as a celebration of shared values: democracy, freedom of navigation, and respect for international law. Public ceremonies highlighted the common ideals that bound the two nations together, reinforcing a sense of purpose and solidarity. As crowds waved flags and held banners high, public support became the bedrock of this new partnership. The alliance was no longer just a matter of policy, it was a movement embraced by the people themselves. The image of the Charles de Gaulle, framed by a sea of cheering Filipinos, quickly became a symbol of national pride and resilience. It was a moment that captured the imagination of a nation determined to shape its own destiny. The Philippines was no longer standing alone on the world's stage. With new friends by its side, it was forging a path toward a more secure and hopeful future. The alliance was not just about military cooperation, it was a genuine bond between nations, built on mutual respect, shared goals, and a vision for peace and stability in the region. As Manila's citizens celebrated, their message was clear: the future would be different. With unity, courage, and new alliances, the city, and the nation, was ready to face whatever came next. The French fleet's presence in the Philippines once evoked memories of colonialism, but today it signals partnership. France now asserts itself as an Indo-Pacific power, with millions of citizens and vital interests in the region. The Charles de Gaulle's deployment is a strategic commitment, not a relic of empire. The alliance is built on international law, especially the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. France and the Philippines are united by shared principles, not dominance. This partnership is part of a broader trend: middle powers building coalitions to balance superpower ambitions. The French flag now stands for mutual respect and a rules-based order. History is being rewritten, former colonizers and the formerly colonized forging a new path together. The Defense Pact was years in the making, built on trust and shared concerns over regional instability. The Philippines sought to diversify its alliances beyond the US, turning to partners like France. Early cooperation, joint exercises, port calls, and diplomatic dialogue laid the groundwork. The status of Visiting Forces Agreement was a breakthrough, allowing French troops and equipment on Philippine soil. The pact is a defensive arrangement, focused on upholding regional stability and international law. Both nations framed it as a proactive, peaceful step. The agreement is a testament to mutual respect and a shared vision for peace. The Franco-Philippine Pact shifts the Indo-Pacific's balance of power, introducing France as a key player. It offers a third way for regional nations, beyond the US-China rivalry. French naval presence acts as a deterrent, raising the stakes for any would-be aggressor. The alliance internationalizes South China Sea disputes, bringing global attention and pressure. It strengthens the vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific, welcomed by other regional democracies. The region is moving toward network security, multiple allies working together for stability. The pact is a model for how middle powers can shape their own security environment. The agreement is action-oriented, regular joint exercises, technology transfer, and intelligence sharing. Filipino forces train with the French, accelerating modernization and interoperability. The pact streamlines access to advanced French military hardware, from radar to patrol vessels. Joint patrols in the West Philippine Sea send a clear message: freedom of navigation will be defended. French and Philippine ships sailing together complicate any aggressor's calculations. Intelligence sharing, including satellite data, gives the Philippines a strategic edge. Enhanced maritime awareness means better protection of resources and sovereignty. This cooperation is the alliance's true strength: quiet, constant, and effective. The pact rests on three pillars: operational teamwork, joint presence at sea, and shared intelligence. Operational teamwork means seamless coordination in crises, shared doctrines, real-time cooperation. Regular French naval rotations ensure the alliance is visible and persistent, not just symbolic. This normalizes European support for international law in the South China Sea. Intelligence sharing provides the Philippines with unprecedented situational awareness. Secure channels allow for real-time data on threats, from satellite imagery to electronic signals. These pillars reinforce each other: joint operations, constant presence, and shared information. The framework is robust and adaptable, ready for future challenges. It's a comprehensive approach. Presence, readiness, and intelligence form a formidable shield. The alliance is built to last, protecting both nations and stabilizing the region. The alliance is mutually beneficial: deterrence for the Philippines, strategic reach for France. The Philippines gains technology, training, and global stature as a proactive middle power. France secures access to key ports and strengthens its Indo-Pacific role. Together, they uphold international law and keep vital sea lanes open for global trade. The partnership gives both nations greater strategic autonomy and flexibility. It's a model for how diverse countries can find common ground for mutual security. The alliance is more than military. It's a commitment to a stable, prosperous world. Both nations emerge stronger, their futures intertwined. The alliance faces significant and complex challenges: China's likely backlash, the immense resource demands, and the ongoing need for sustained commitment from both sides. Tensions in the region are high, and every move is closely watched by neighboring countries and the international community. France must maintain a costly and logistically challenging presence far from home, requiring not just ships and soldiers, but also political will and public support. Meanwhile, the Philippines must modernize its forces, invest in new technology, and adapt to new defense strategies to keep pace with evolving threats. Both governments need to keep public support strong, communicating the alliance's value, not just to leaders, but to ordinary citizens. Public understanding and trust are crucial for the alliance to endure, especially as it faces scrutiny and debate. Transparency and a shared narrative are essential for long-term political backing. Open communication about goals, progress, and challenges helps build confidence and ensures that the alliance remains accountable to the people it serves. Despite these obstacles, the pact stands as a beacon of hope, a creative and forward-thinking response to a complex and rapidly changing world. It shows that nations can come together to address shared concerns and build a safer future. The alliance affirms the Philippines' sovereignty and France's commitment to upholding a lawful international order. It sends a clear message that both countries are willing to defend their interests and support each other in times of uncertainty. The alliance is a bold step toward a multipolar Indo-Pacific, where peace and stability are seen as shared responsibilities. It encourages other nations to work together, rather than compete, for the region's future. Diplomacy, cooperation, and shared values are at the very core of this partnership. Through joint exercises and open dialogue, both countries strengthen their bonds and learn from each other. The future will be shaped by nations working together, not by a single power. Collaboration, mutual respect, and understanding will define the new era of security in the Indo-Pacific. The Franco-Philippine alliance is more than just a military pact. It is a promise of stability, partnership, and hope in uncertain times, lighting the way forward for the region and beyond.